Welcome back to the Carpentry Australia podcast. I'm here today with the fantastic Alex from Sutton Tools, and your title at Sutton is National Sales Manager?
National Key Account Manager.
There you go.
Yeah,
a little bit more special.
Well, maybe not. It's maybe the national sales one day that's a goal to have, but for now I'm looking after a number of our key accounts. So new to the role, which is exciting.
That's great. And how long have you been with Sutton?
4 years now.
Okay.
4 years. So it's been a bit of a whirlwind the last 4 years. It's coming into the business in a territory management role, servicing customers as I have done for many years, and to where I am now, it's been quite exciting.
Yeah. And so talk a little bit more. I'd love to hear about sort of Sutton's history, and I think the one thing that really pulled Carpentry Australia towards Sutton in the first place was the Australian made, and that we're doing things on soil here, and it just had that kind of alignment where we love what our carpenters are doing, and we want to equip them with the best business tools, the best actual tools, and that's sort of where you guys fell into place.
Yeah, absolutely. It's quite important for us to actually let people know that we do still manufacture product here in Australia. Obviously, not everything we do is manufactured here, and it's probably quite difficult to do so these days anyway. But for our roots, our threading tools and our drilling and cutting tools, we certainly do manufacture locally across 2 sites here in Australia, with Thomastown and Maryborough up there in regional Victoria, and then we've got New Zealand. So Rangiora is our site down there in New Zealand, up there over there in New Zealand.
Yep.
Which has recently opened. So March this year we opened the new Rangiora site following our unfortunate incident back in 2022. So I experienced a fire, which was a pretty big impact for us.
That's right, I remember that, yeah.
So it did hurt at the time,
obviously,
as an event like that would, but under no circumstances we were going to take a backward step in our rebuild, and fast forward now, March 25, reopen New Zealand and onward and upward. So.
Any plan to open any other ones, or what's the...
Look, I'm not too sure about that. Wouldn't be a question for me, and I sort of stay out of those bits and pieces. Look, we've recently acquired Mitatoyo, which is a metrology business of high quality metrology product out of Japan, which is very, very new to myself, but new to the business as well, and does fit what we do. We've already had a number of distributors reach out to us and ask for some trading agreements and product ranging and pricing, which is exciting. So exciting for us, exciting for the market. But we're always looking at evolving, looking at what we can do as a business to strengthen, where we sit in the market already, and where we can add to our categories and add to our branding. Carby Tool is one of those we were speaking about just a little bit before. So
I do love Carby Tool.
When people find out that Carby Tool are part of Sutton Tools, it comes to some as a shock and surprise in a good way. So we're building on that brand as we speak with some new products that are coming to market. Some released, some on their way.
Yeah, exciting.
So absolutely.
Perfect. What about... So one thing we'd like to ask everyone that comes on the show is sort of what their relationship is like with Carpentry Australia, and sort of what the partnership, I guess, means for your business, and obviously for Sutton as a whole. So can you tell us a little bit about why it's important that Sutton is involved with Carpentry Australia, and what do you guys get from it?
Yeah, absolutely. Sutton have been involved now for a couple of years with Carpentry Australia, and Sue Key, our Director of Marketing, actually reached out about sponsorship packages and how we can get involved there. And since that point, it's actually been really good exposure for us as a business within the next generation of trades, particularly with TAFE exposure and a couple of events that I've attended with you out of the Polytechnic as well there in Heidelberg. That's been quite exciting. And for us to be able to roll out our product, be it what we're known for, but what's now new to the market under our banner, that's been quite exciting for us. We're 108th year now as a business, right? So for us, it's we've been around quite a long time, and with that, some habits creep in, and sometimes it takes a little while for us to learn the new tricks of the trade with how to get access to the next generation. You've helped us do that, absolutely.
Well, one thing I want to commend Sutton on, and this is something I saw from the start, was that the branding side of it, and sort of the way that you have done the whole Viper range. And I've always been very impressed with sort of how you've been able to sort of stay in that new, modern, like obviously you're right, when businesses are around for a long time, they tend to stay a little bit old school, they don't necessarily stay with the times, but I think that you've been very on trend, and I've been excited to see some of the new stuff that you've got coming out, and I think it's clever for the apprentices as well, the new guys that are coming through, to sort of see stuff that doesn't look stock standard, it actually looks, pretty sharp and pretty cool, and I think that's a big thing that you're probably doing quite well at the moment.
It's a testament to our product team and our marketing team. They're able to take an idea and a concept and put it into development stage and bring it to life, which is great. Right down from redesigning branding and packaging. Recently we've had a redesign of our brand. We've introduced the shield, which we haven't had before, which is really exciting. So, and then with that, we've gone and redesigned packaging and still maintain the colour coding. So if people notice, and maybe they haven't really picked it up before, but hopefully now they will go and keep an eye out for it. But we colour code with our products and our packaging, and the kind of detail that we actually put on there. It allows you to shop for yourself. So it's a fast-paced environment. A lot of our distributors and retailers out there, they're limited as well in terms of dealing with customers, and you can't grab every customer that walks through the door. So we need to be able to provide a product that you can shop yourself and provide you the detail you need. And I think our team do a great job of bringing that to life.
You can see it straight away as well.
100%.
Stands out.
It does. Absolutely.
It does. What about some highlights and things that we've sort of achieved over the past couple of years? What's things that Sutton's really proud of that we've been able to do together?
To me, it is first and foremost, it's the exposure. Right? So at the moment, Sutton are going through a little bit of a learning experience with delving deeper into social media. James has been instrumental within our business in doing that, and he's got the support of the team there, and Sue's right behind him as well, which is really exciting. Really trying to drive that. Working with Callista as well. There's a little video shot last week of a new product that will be hitting the market shortly.
That's exciting.
Not going to give too much away, but I'm sure it'll stick when it lands. There's a little clue for you. And it's my attempt at comedy, which was terrible. For us to be able to learn from yourselves who do that social aspect of it really well, and you actually engage with your members and supporters and the trades out there through a number of different causes, and one that I think is actually really important, that mental health, especially amongst trades, nobody really has a chat. That's it's opened our eyes to how we can approach that social media aspect, and then getting exposure actually hands-on in front of the up-and-coming trades, and teaching them a little bit about what we do. We're not just a drill, we're not just a hole saw. There's a little bit more to what we do, which is, you've given us that, and that's exposure that we didn't have in that area before, which I think is really exciting.
I think the other surprising thing is, because I'm the member manager, I try and handle a lot of the engagement that we've got with our chippies. And the one thing that was definitely surprising for me was how many blokes were, anytime I'd come out and I'd show them some new Sutton stuff, or we'd have some stuff to give away, whatever it might be, they knew that they were already using it. They're like, I've already got, I bought the new Viper pack last week, and I need that new, the new spade bit set. Mine were buggered from, a couple of years ago, whatever it might have been. But the amount of people that I've gone out and seen, and they're already either using it or have used it in the past, it was refreshing knowing that we were sort of in the right direction. We're supporting the right sort of company.
Absolutely. It's nice to hear, isn't it? I mean, you don't always need a pat on the back, but when they come, it's a good thing. So to hear that feedback, and to your point, the engagement with the right businesses, that's a positive.
I think one thing that we wanted to do in the future as well was really, because with all of our partners and all the people that we sort of work closely with, we love to be able to provide our members with either a service or be able to provide them with sort of better pricing. And I think at the moment we're sort of working on both of those angles with Sutton. So hopefully, maybe by the end of the year, we should be able to have maybe our own little portal where some of our members can go and access all of the Sutton range, and I'd like to include Carby Tool and stuff in there as well. And it just means that we're really able to get them the right tools and get them the right stuff easier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Instead of having to sort of jump through different hoops.
I think really drilling down into industry specific, if we can drill down into that, and we do that a little bit with some of our product branding and packaging. So people will notice within our wholesale sets we'll have the plumber, electrician, the carpenter. So if we can actually help segment that down and provide the right advice for the segment they're in.
Happy. Yeah. All right, so carpenters heavily rely on their tools. And what does Sutton do to make sure that tradies are getting the best possible gear in their hands?
Yeah, it's simply quality assurance.
Yep.
So regardless of whether the product is imported or whether it's manufactured locally by us, the product is quality controlled.
I actually saw some quality control stuff up in Thomastown. I think it was going through 100 tests or 50 tests, whatever it might have been, and they were just to make sure that this new thing that they were releasing in the next 2 months was sort of across everything. There was all these metrics and computer screens. I didn't understand.
It's quite insane. There's some things that happen in there that I've been there 4 years, and sometimes you'll ask a question and you'll get an answer and you walk away and your head's spinning. That's why we've got professional engineers and tool makers, and our R&D department is extensive and growing all the time, which is very important. But look, every product that comes off an assembly point there or a manufacturer point there at Thomastown or Maryborough, anywhere really, down in Rangiora, anywhere we manufacture a product, it's visually inspected before it even goes any further. Yeah. Right. So it's that detail, and then it goes into a climate-controlled environment where it goes through further inspections. It's insane. Yeah. And
there's a care at every.
Well, it's important for us to make sure we're providing the product to the market that backs up our promise.
What is your promise?
We're world class since 1917, right? So to be world class, you've got to consider yourself amongst the best operators and suppliers of product and solutions in the market. So we can't back that up unless we know we've got the right product coming out of our manufacturing processes or product that we're importing. It's actually got to take our seal of approval.
Yeah. And is there any, through some of the trade school stuff that we've done and the stuff that we've been working with our members and our apprentices, are there any sort of standout stories that you've that Sutton remembers, or is there any standout stories from apprentices or carpenters for people who are using Sutton tools and what you've heard sort of on site, on the grapevine?
There's many crazy things I've heard, and some of them I'm sure I've got a bit of mail on there. But there's no real one standout in terms of how a product of ours is being used extraordinarily or something like that. It's more so the feedback you get when you're out and about, right? So striking up a conversation, you could be on a regional trip somewhere and you go to the pub for dinner.
Yep.
Because that's travelling salesperson. That's what we do. We go to the pub for dinner, and depending on how long your day's been, whether you're rushing to beat the kitchen closing or what, you might turn up there and you're in your Sutton branded shirt, right? So you're there at dinner and you're ordering dinner, and there's a tradie who's gone in for their afternoon beer, and strike up a conversation, and it's all about Sutton and what they know about Sutton. So our reach actually stretches far and wide, and that's the most impressive thing. We're starting to get that same feedback from the younger generation of tradesperson. So it's not just the 45-year-old tradie who's been using it for the last 20 odd years. It's the 18-year-old tradie who's just picked up their first Sutton hole saw set or first Sutton drill set or spade bit set or their first P&N step drill or now the new stack-in product. And the feedback that we're receiving on that, which is exceptional.
I did see. I think we've done a couple of videos on the stack in as well.
Yes.
Yeah, a couple of cheeky ones.
You've been displaying it very fashionably. And,
trying to dance.
A little bit Ken Bruce has gone mad, but you're doing really well. It's good.
But I've got no rhythm. That's the problem.
That's okay. I'm with you there.
So I love the stacking idea. I love sort of that you're trying to revamp that sort of modern take on what these young tradies need as well, and being able to do it in a clever sort of cool looking way, as well as being practical and useful and I guess easily obtainable as well. Like that's what it all plays into.
Everybody's looking to be organised now.
Yeah.
It's all modular. So I can't remember the last time I drove past a ute down the highway and went, gee, that thing's untidy.
Yeah. Everything's got its place.
Absolutely.
It's all marked.
It's all purpose, purpose bought and purpose built, and we've got to fit that market, and we have now, which is really exciting. We're continuing to evolve that as well. So, more and more coming through will be adaptable to our stacking range. And what person doesn't like playing with, basically it's a Lego set in a way, isn't it?
Yeah, piece them together. Yeah.
Not quite Lego, We'll
with tools.
It is stacking, but it's really cool. It works. It's not a fad. It's not something that we're trying to get a gimmick across the market with. It actually works. You can stack the products in there, and once they're in, you can turn the thing upside down, and they don't fall out, which is really good. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, save you some tools out of the back of you as well.
Absolutely, 100%.
Talking about organisation as well, like it's funny. You just reminded me. We actually have a member of ours from WA who started the brand. It's in Bunnings and stuff as well. But 48 Tools. I don't know if you've ever. They've got all of these battery pack that were color coded. Yep. So he was sort of the person who. There's probably other ones that had come out with it, but you're right in terms of the organisation of how tradies work nowadays. They love being able to have, you know, all of their batteries in the right place, and they like to have it all colour coded, and it's different from how it was sort of 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah. Time is money.
Yeah.
So whether that's wasting time going to replace something that you haven't cared for properly and it's damaged, or you know, something you haven't secured properly and you've lost it, or it's been stolen, you know, or you're fumbling around trying to find that Phillips bit or that 5mm drill. You know, if it's organised, it saves you time.
Yeah, definitely.
Just makes sense.
If Sutton Tools was a tradie on site, what kind of tradie would they be?
Well, you give me a little bit of a run sheet here, and I might be dobbing you in. So, but you give me a run sheet and give me some options here. So, the options that have come through, we've got the perfectionist, the joker, the one who always brings snacks. Well, if it's a Monday, snacks. Snacks, yep. Absolutely. If you're in the office on Monday and you go into the tea room and there's not snacks on the table, or somebody's done some baking on Sunday, and you know, you'd be very surprised. So I'd like to say that we'd be always bringing the snacks. Failing that, I don't know, somewhere between the joker and the perfectionist. Because you can't take yourself too seriously. No. You got to have a little bit of fun with what you're doing. You got to enjoy what you do, and you do have to try and get it right every time you possibly can. But got to have fun with it. Yeah.
I think that's the other thing that I love is that Sutton, you know, and working with you guys for the past couple of years, you've always been sharp with sort of what we want to do. You're always open to, you know, helping with our Helping Hand Days and all of our community events that we're hosting, and then with the apprentices. But then at the same time, if I throw an idea saying, hey, I'd really like to do this, and I've got a great idea for this new product that you're bringing out, you've never really said no. You say, we're in 100%. Let us know what we need to do. Where do we need to be? What products do you need? And we'll get it through, because we want to tap into that audience the best way that we possibly can. So by being the joker and by being a perfectionist, you sort of have all the rounded, you know, things that you need.
Yeah, but being collaborative too. You know, so I like the fact that you've pointed out there that if you've got an idea and you put it forward, we're accommodating in that idea. Because you're nothing without people, right? Yeah. One person can have a concept, but it doesn't come to life without many hands.
That's right.
So it's good. I like it.
Yeah. One tool in the Sutton range that chippies shouldn't leave the house without.
Now. It's our new 37-piece stacking set.
37-piece?
37-piece. Okay. It's got a little bit of everything in it. So here's a little bit of Rayman for you. S251 S37A is the product code. Now, to many people, that's not going to mean much.
I'm impressed to remember it.
Yeah, well, it's a problem. Some people go to sleep counting sheep. I remember part numbers, but it's my wife doesn't enjoy that too much. But it's 37 pieces. It's got our new Superbit Plus drills in there, up to 5mm. It's a hex shank impact drill with a Thailand coating on it, so really, really good drill as well. Plays on the same parabolic flute design as our new XP bullet, so it's a really high performing drill. Again, I said new, so everybody make sure you get out there and get stuck in.
That's it.
It's got driver bits in it, so it's a multi-kit basically, so you've got some nut setters, you've got socket adapter, so 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch. You've got power bits, so 50mm and above in there for impact drivers. It's a handy kit. Probably the only thing that we could try and find a way to squeeze in there would be a couple of our impact sockets. But failing that, I think that's the perfect kit to take with you.
It's an all-in-one.
Absolutely. Yeah. Get you out of trouble.
What's the weirdest or funniest use you've seen with a Sutton tool?
I had a call almost 12 months ago now, and it's from Western Australia. So when you call through the Sutton tools, we've got 3 options now. So you can either receive a patch through to customer service, you can receive a patch through to our accounts team, or you can receive a patch through to receive some technical advice. Okay. All right, so providing you with the options and just going straight through to where you need to be. Sometimes when it comes to the technical advice, you'll be put through to a state manager or a territory manager, depending on where you're calling from. At the time, I was state manager for Vic, so I got a phone call from WA naturally. It was quite an interesting call to take. It was a farmer from out that way, and I can't remember exactly the town he was from, but it was very remote, about 400 kilometres from Perth, I believe. Oh God. Maybe even a little more. But he was using our bimetal hole saws to drill the bottom out of dog food cans. Right? And then using those dog food cans as potentially irrigation props or
Yeah,
something along those lines. So he was drilling out the bottom, and he sort of said, "Oh, you know, I went to the shed and I got your hole saw out, and you know, it let go on me." And he sent me a photo of it, and it was our old Viper, a light blue hole saw, and so I said, "Oh, I'll get you sorted, mate. I'll send you a new bimetal one." So helped him out there, and he's very grateful. But that was the most obscure thing I've heard of.
You did not hear that every day.
There's some other bits and pieces that our hole saws are being used for, drilling out conduits in slabs and those kinds of things to make sure we get it the right diameter and nice and fine, but which is an interesting one. Electrical conduit in a concrete slab, that is a bit interesting. We had to sort of recommend a guide there to use our multi-purpose hole saws to basically just take enough, be wide enough in diameter to take the conduit out without destroying itself on the concrete.
Yeah, right.
Which, I mean, I think they've gone okay. Haven't heard back about that one. But yeah, certainly the dog food cans was interesting. That's very remote and very strange.
Well, they just do things differently out there.
You've got to use everything when you're on the farm, so make it work. Very creative.
Oh, I love it. We'll pivot across to, I want to talk about the future, I guess, of Sutton. So where do you see actually, in the 4 years that you've been with Sutton, sort of what improvements do you think have happened, you know, and what are some of the biggest highlights you can sort of say? And then where do you see the next few years going? What's
It's interesting because the 4 years that I've been with Sutton, I joined, we went into a second COVID lockdown.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, that one, the first one was tough, but the second one I think for a lot of people was...
Stun.
Yeah, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Yeah. So it's taken people and businesses and, you know...
People are still recovering, to be honest.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And some didn't. Right? Yeah. So there's a lot of businesses that didn't come through it and a lot of people as well, which is a shame. But we had that, obviously, and then, you know, we're all very excited to get back to work and get out there, and then 30th of January 2022, Kaipoi burnt to the ground. To the credit of our leaders, and, you know, we are a family-owned and operated business, so the Suttons are at the helm of the business. They dug their boots in and rebuilt. So, you know, from there was a bit of delay on product development, and it was really about how we can pivot to ensure we've got enough supply of product for the market, of which we found out that we had, you know, a fairly reasonable share of. Yeah. What it did do, though, is it highlighted for us where we might have had some deficiencies, and, you know, some of those deficiencies were about where the market's going. So what technology has been brought into it, whether that be we can use in the sales process when we're in field, whether that's in product development and what we look to bring in and what the market's asking for. You know, what do we chuck out to R&D and say, guys, this is what we're seeing, what can you develop? So it sort of dug out a lot of questions, and we spent a lot of time rebuilding over the last 4 years into a business that, you know, can put its chest out and throw its shoulders back and walk with confidence once again. And I think we've done that pretty well. You know, we're seeing a lot of exposure in the marketplace at the moment. Our sales teams nationally are getting out there, and the new branding that marketing and product development have brought to us has been incredible, and gives us a really easy tool to go out there and say, let us brighten your shop. Let us add value. Let us generate profit for you. Let us be who we are at our core, and that is a solutions provider in the cutting and threading tool industry. But, you know, then we've had our product development team on the side looking at where we can, you know, add some arms to that. Stacking comes through. We've launched our new range of measuring tools and scribing tools within Carby Tools, so we're giving that brand a bit of a facelift and a bit of notoriety. You know, so there's a lot of strings that we've got to our bow that we've realised, hang on, we can unlock these here. So grit, determination, pure tenacity, respect and loyalty for our fellow colleague and fellow industry devotee, if you will. Yeah. As a posh word, people won't believe I'm capable of that. Sort of the highlight, we're still here. Yeah. That's the highlight. We're still here providing a service to the market.
Where do you think, and this is just a different question, but we'd love to know. I'm just throwing you under the bus. Sorry.
Here we go.
No, where does, you know, Sutton with over 100 years in the game, like, where does that longevity come from? Like, where do you really think that? Because some businesses don't survive 2 years, let alone 100. Like, what's your opinion on sort of what gives it that longevity?
Belief that we can keep going. We've got an obligation. the business has built itself into a position now where there is an obligation to the industry and the people that make it what it is. The people that work within the Sutton Tools family, we're a business that employs on a full-time basis just over 400 people globally. With 150 of those being at Thomastown. Roughly 150 at Thomastown.
It's a big office.
Yeah. So, and the office is great. The people within it are great. And I sit in that office now, and I can tell you that some of those people in there are incredible. They're more incredible than they care to believe themselves. But it's the people out on the factory floor that are manufacturing the product for us. That are out there in the hot days and out there in the cold days, and there's not many heaters that can make it warm in winter when you're out in the factory, and there's not too many air cons that can make it cool when it's the summer, right? So they're putting in the effort to make sure that we in the office and we out on the road have got something that we can go and sell. I'd like to say we don't leave anyone behind. When we did have the fire, it's righto, well, pull the socks up and get on with it.
Then just cash your chips and then walk away.
Not at all. Not at all. And Jim Sutton was a big driver in that as well. So, said, well, find a solution. Let's move forward. So, what makes us? What's made us hang around so long? I mean, we've been through almost everything. And come out the other side. What's the answer, but other than grit, determination, and fulfilling the promise of Sutton Tools, the obligation to the market.
I love it that I love the longevity. I love the fact that you guys have been around for so long, and that you're still pushing harder, and trying to create all these new innovations and testing new things, and branching out into different brands as well, and sort of just growing that whole Sutton brand is it's really impressive to sort of sit by and watch.
Well, we have to. We have to. So when you've been around as long as we have, I mean, you've got a big portion of the market anyway within. I like to say that we break our catalogues into thirds, and the first third of our catalogue is what people expect from us. The remaining 2/3 are what some people are surprised we do. There's a few strings to our bow, there's a few more that we can add to it, but it's about how we communicate that to the market. We've got an incredible team of people that wake up every morning, put their keys in the car, and off they go and sell the Sutton service, which isn't just product.
No.
We're much more than that, but they get out and they do that. So we've got to provide something for the sales team and the market to grow with.
And what do you think the next couple of years looks like with your partnership with Carpentry Australia, and sort of what you guys want to accomplish working alongside us? Is there any big plans, or have you got any other ideas?
I think it's ramping up the exposure, to be honest with you. How do we go to that next level? So now that we're trying to get it, we've made a deliberate effort to increase I suppose our social media exposure, our attendance to events, and how we present at those events, and what's important to the people we're presenting to. We understand that a little bit more now. So how do we evolve and go to that next level again? That's the challenge for us now, and the challenge that we're grabbing with both hands. As I said, there was some filming that was done last week, and I'm sure some more filming will be done this week, and they're continuing to churn it out. And it's not just fluff. Right. It's not just for the sake of doing it. It's actually trying to grab some attention and get people on board, which is what we need. But in terms of Carpentry Australia, we want to continue to work with you to bring both brands to market. Right. Highlighting the quality. Carpentry Australia is not a fly-by-nighter.
No.
Right. So let's see if there's 108 years in Carpentry Australia. I'm sure there is. So how we leverage off each other to ensure that we grow together, and show the next generation of trades, and even the trades that are still going now, that we're here for you, and also don't be afraid to reach out. We need to grow our product segment a little bit. We understand where we're going with a couple of I suppose product ideas we've got, and under a couple of different brands that we bring to market. We need to continue to get feedback from the market. So hopefully the platform continues to come to us as well.
Well, I think that's what we'll be providing as well. So I think one thing that I'm really excited for with our new member portal and sort of what we're launching on our website, and this is for all the members out there as well, we've got a new section on the website where we're going to allow feedback. for our different sponsors, for our different sort of services that we're providing as well. And we're also going to have a bit of a direct link between sort of our members and, the sponsors that we're working with. So it means if there is any, if anyone's got any ideas or if they've got any feedback about some of the stuff that Sutton's doing, or that they've wanted to ask a question for the past, 2 months and they haven't been able to get it answered, we're going to sort of give them that opportunity to have a bit of an open line of communication, and it'll be really cool to be able to do that. And then with that also, there'll be videos that I believe Sutton's providing for the portal as well. Some learning around your drill bits and around sort of the safety of certain things. And I just think that there's so many cool things that are coming up, and I'm excited to sort of see it all come to life.
Absolutely. I think that'll be a really good platform as well to highlight some of our capabilities that the open market might not be exposed to or aware of. And we've got an incredible team sitting in our special sales department there, that if there's a solution that anyone requires, and there's some brilliant people out there that come up with some incredible solutions. I mean, even Nail Equip years ago there in Lilydale came up with a guide basically that you put onto your circular saw, and it's for cutting ply bracing. Just to speed up the job. And that was a long time ago now, and I wasn't with Sutton then. I was representing somebody else and walked in and inquired, what's that all about? And, so
impressed.
I was quite impressed. And a lot of things are born from the ideas of people using a product and having to use it in a way that it's not intended for, but that's the only way they can get that solution. So bring those ideas forward. There's no silly idea, and it might not be no, it could just be not now. We'll have a look into it and come back to you. But we need to get that feedback, and the portal, if you're going to open up a line of communication there, all for it.
Yeah, 100%.
The good, bad, and indifferent, by the way. I mean, it can't all be rose-coloured glasses. So, if there's something that we're not doing right, we also need to hear that.
Well, one thing, and look, not one thing, many things that you guys are doing right. I'll harp on that for a moment. Is I really wanted to talk about what we did up in Queensland and what Sutton was involved with our Mudgee Bar Helping Hand Day. Now, I think it was actually about a year ago now, September of 2024. We built one of the biggest decks around this house that really needed some TLC, and the Sutton crew helped us with feet on the ground, because we're based down here in Victoria, so any help we can get in the other states for these community events, we really we need it. And Sutton put their hand up and said, yep, who do you need? They sent 2 of their sales reps up there that were there for probably, I think it was about 2 weeks. They sort of came in every day and sort of, we were driving trucks and, delivering materials and picking up this. But then the finished product, the fact that they were able to provide, the whole deck was done with, with Sutton products as well. So that was really cool that we had that angle of it. And I think it really sort of showcased what you guys are all about, which is a fantastic product, a fantastic service, and really, sort of the love for the industry. That was what I felt from it, for sure.
Yeah, no, it's good feedback. Appreciate it. I think that might have been, and please forgive me if I'm off. I think that might have been Sam and Paul that were there.
That's right.
So it was good, and I think Sam got himself in front of the camera for a little bit as well, and said a couple of things, which is really, really good exposure for both Sutton and for Carpentry Australia. And look, you don't have to be, forgive me, but you don't have to be a dickhead. Right? It's okay. There's lots of things going on in the world, and everybody's got something. Right. So add some value to someone's day, and be a smile to somebody. Because you don't know what that might change. Provide a helping hand, and the team up north did a fantastic job doing that. And that's Sutton. That's Sutton everywhere we go. I mean, we're all the same. Happy to provide a helping hand and be there if we can provide assistance in any way. Why not do it?
I think I'm super stoked that we've been able to sit down and sort of talk about how things have come to be, sort of where we're heading, and sort of what's up next. But is there anything you can reveal sort of towards the end of the year? What's happening for Sutton before the end of 2025, or can we look forward to maybe a Christmas giveaway or something like that?
We've got a couple of things on the go at the moment, where we're just working through some of our promotional activity now. But we certainly want to have a look at how we can better do activations to the end user market. So that's not selling directly to the end user, that is how we can ensure that a promotion actually hits our intended market. So there are a couple of things that we're looking at there. I can't give anything away too great. It'll certainly be 2026 calendar year. A few products that will be pushing the release button on, which is exciting.
So keep your eyes peeled.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah.
I don't want to go and give away any hard work that people have put in. So
that's okay. That's right.
I won't steal their thunder. But make sure you do engage with our sales team if you see them out and about, because we love talking about our product and we love talking about what is new. So if you do miss an update or a notification, doesn't mean that it's not out yet. So, but James and the team in there, and Sue, and they're pushing the button on a few exciting things at the moment that they'll release through our social media. So give us a follow if you can.
That's right. Is it Sutton Tools Oz? What's the...
Just Sutton Tools. So we've got Instagram, Facebook, and for any businesses out there that want to give us a follow on LinkedIn as well, we'll be happy to share some content with you and give you a plug where needed as well. So let us know.
See, helping everyone out.
Absolutely.
Did James bring you up to speed on sort of how I know James and how we've got history?
You went to school together, didn't you? Or grew up?
We grew up. We did actually go to school together for a little bit, and then I ended up moving schools. But we grew up doing karate together.
Is that right?
Yeah. So I've known him since I was about 5 or 6 years old, and then it was just so funny running into him at Melbourne Polytechnic. Matty, what's going on? I hadn't seen him for 20 years. Yeah. And then obviously we crossed paths, and he talked about how he just loves the fact that we're already working together, and it's a small world. Yeah. A small world. And we did some acting in the past as well.
Did you really?
Yeah, a little embarrassing.
Well, he's pretty good in front of the camera, James.
That's
right. So you're saying he knows karate, does he?
He knows karate. He's got to do something with those guns.
I mean, it's terrifying because the bloke can already lift half of Australia. So it's anyway. I'll have to make sure I'm always very polite to him.
That's right. No, he's tough. He's tough.
No, he's a ripper.
No, he's a great bloke. Well, we look. One last thing. If you were to leave any message from today, if anyone who's listening or has watched, what's the one thing that you'd like to say?
Other than buy Sutton?
Try Sutton?
Try Sutton?
Yeah.
I'll go a little bit deeper. Love what you do. Love what you do.
Yeah.
Through our adult life, more often than we're at home.
Yeah.
If you're lucky enough, I'm very, very lucky, I've got a family at home. And I like to walk through the front door to them with a smile on my face after a good day. I like to get up in the morning and go to work happy.
Yeah.
So love what you do, it's very important. Money can be made anywhere. Flashy things look good for a little while, but love what you do, you'll always be happy.
Yeah. I think one of the main things that people forget is that a lot of the best things are free. All the flashy stuff, it's great. It's good to be comfortable. It's good to not stress about certain things, but really think about, the important stuff. It doesn't cost anything.
Manners included. Please and thank you is free, but it gets you everything.
That's right. Well, thanks for coming in and talking about Sutton. And look, I love the partnership that we've got in place, and I think that we're going to continue to do great things together.
Likewise.
And before we do go, there is one last sort of little exciting thing that's going to be involving Sutton as well. Is we're launching a bit of a partnership with the Today Show. With Carl Stefanovic and his co-host, and that is actually going to be kickstarting from the Carpentry Expo.
Yep.
So the morning of the Carpentry Expo, we're going to be going back and forth doing crosses with the Today Show, and this type of media coverage and the involvement that we've got and sort of how we're expanding is only going to be reinforcing sort of the relationships that we've got with people like yourself. So that's what you can be excited about in the future.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
So more live coverage, more opportunities for us to, be utilising Sutton Tools in that space, and it's just some food for thought.
Well, you know where we're at. 378 Settlement Road, Thomastown. Don't be afraid to knock on our door, and especially if it's going to have national coverage.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll take it.
That's right.